Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Scoobalings! Welcome to the Nintendo Shack Podcast, episode 337, new Zelda Echoes of Wisdom trailer. Super duper exciting. I feel like I have a rush of adrenaline right now because I just was in the time that we were waiting to start the podcast. I just got a signed Taylor Swift CD. Donnie was watching the end of an exciting basketball game.
USA!
Oh my gosh, I was dead asleep.
France!
I was dead asleep 10 minutes ago, and like now I am so full of life. So full of life.
All those France kids are crying and their hearts broken.
Oh, but you know what that means, though. That means they're going to come for blood in 4 years. That's what happens when you lose like that. Every day they're gonna remember this as they train for the next one.
It'll probably be a lot of the same players, I'm sure.
I can't say. On the American side, a lot of them are older. So the American team will be a lot of new folks. It's kind of on both sides, on the men and the women's. This is kind of the end of an era for Olympic basketball. A lot of players are going to turn over, and at the Olympics in LA will be really young.
This probably will be LeBron's last Olympic game.
It is. Yeah, it's got to be. There's
he's
no way
he's playing.
Yeah, he'll be like 45 by the time the next Olympics come around. Delvin, he's not going to be
geriatric.
Playing. Yeah, I think it's the end for LeBron, Durant, Curry. Embiid said he may play for Cameroon, but a lot of folks will be like
traitor.
And like Tarasi's like super old. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot of, I wouldn't say young people. So there'll be NBA people, but like they don't have much Olympic experience. They'll be new.
The younger generation.
Right. And if you put those players out there yesterday, America loses. Like they don't win that game without that experience, I don't think. But
sounds like the game that you were watching came down to the wire. The other game must have been really good.
It was a 3-point game with 2 seconds left. France gets the ball, comes down, they shoot the three to tie the game and force overtime. It goes in. The entire arena goes ballistic. But her foot was on the line, so it counts as 2 instead of 3.
Oh my god.
So they lose by a point.
She's gonna like go
they're all devastated.
Yeah.
They got little kids in the crowd crying. While America like runs around happy.
Yep, on your home court.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful sight.
I love it. I love it. It's the American way.
I can't do that. I'm too like I feel the empathy of the other team. I can't
fuck
do
them
that.
kids.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That's sport. You know, put your foot back, make the shot.
Man, no, I would never be able to be an athlete in that situation.
You know how many times my heart has been broken for my team getting demolished? I'm a Heat fan.
I'm a Cleveland fan. It's like all I know.
Yeah, but think about what that athlete is feeling right now. She's like, I ruined it for my entire country.
Yeah.
Well,
she's gonna like. She's gonna need therapy.
It sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not picking you next time.
Oh my god.
We know who won't be on this team next time. Your ass.
It is heartbreaking because she made the shot.
Yeah.
If she missed it, it'd be easier, but she didn't. She made it. It's just a foot too close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. XBS in chat. Rebs is a Philly fan. She should know some brutal sports losses.
Facts.
I do.
Facts.
That is true.
I do. It is very sad.
Here's the
pretty much always.
On the men's side, the era I was speaking to, that LeBron, Curry, KD era, LeBron was on the team that underachieved, I think, in Greece and got bronze.
That is correct.
And like he talks about all that. That's the reason he works so hard and tries and like comes back to the team and is committed to it, because he lost. It's the loss that drives the wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
You know?
Wasn't the team after that team called the Redeem Team because they did so goddamn bad?
They came back with a vengeance. They were like, we have to correct this history.
It does
Yeah.
light a
Embarrassing.
fire under you.
And that's exactly what France
Something
is
to
going to
root
have.
for.
France is going to have that on both sides because at least the men's team, they're young. So they're all just probably going to get a lot better. So we may not get gold next time. Like that's a very real possibility.
Yeah.
Delvin, I like your name, Let the Cat Fend for Itself, because I had to go feed my cat before I jumped on this call.
Yeah, that's a cat. He'll be all right.
No, he missed me because I was away in North Carolina for a few weeks. And
he'll start tearing everything apart. He'll come like ripping the microphone out and shit.
Oh, he will. He did it.
Start getting on the keyboard.
And he will.
He's like, listen, I'm the captain.
No, I'm back in PA. I went to go see a Green Day concert a couple days ago. Green Day is my favorite band. It was so much fun.
Even more so than Taylor Swift?
Well, no, okay, I said band.
Taylor Swift is a band? She has music?
She's a singer. She's an
but
artist.
People play music for her. It's a band.
Taylor Swift is my
That is
favorite
a good
artist.
point. I never thought about that, but yeah, you're kind of right.
Just dismissing the whole other part of the song.
Okay, Taylor Swift and her band are my favorite band, and then Green Day. Okay.
I saw your TikTok.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a good TikTok. It was like viral. Yeah, so that was my third time seeing Green Day. Can I ask you guys a question? Okay, so we were up in like the nosebleeds, like the 300 level, because I just wanted to be there. You know, I didn't want to spend $1 million. And I was up on my feet, dancing, singing the whole time. And I was row 3 in the 300 section, so like I was like kind of far up. The 2 rows in front of me, the whole time they Stacey, the whole time they were like on their phones scrolling on Instagram for parts of the show. Like for the songs that they did watch, they just recorded the whole song on their phone. Like, why do you go to a concert if you're just gonna like sit down and like look at your phone?
So you can record it and post it on the gram.
The recording part, I both empathize with you, but I also am guilty of it. By the way,
I did a few parts where like I recorded very selectively, like, you know, a couple things, but like I'm talking these people were recording several songs in their entirety.
The stage setup, by the way, was the exact same stage setup that I saw for the Strokes and the Chili Peppers. I wonder if that's like a standard like light package that they hand out. It was like the exact same one. I was like, that's like the same thing. Yeah, I mean, so my first take is that like maybe they're old. Like, were they older? Maybe they don't want to stand up all night, because that's me now.
Yeah, I get it. If like you want to, you know, you can't stand for a long amount of time. I get.
Yeah, that's me these days.
They were like looking, but they were like some of them had like their head down, or like they weren't even watching.
Yeah, because my go-to seat now is I want to be first row balcony. That's the seat I want now.
Well, I would have gladly traded seats with these people in the first row.
My days of standing all thing and in the pit and stuff are over. Yeah. But also, when you're in the balcony and you have elevated seating, they probably didn't want to stand, maybe out of respect to the people behind them. Maybe they didn't want to. Yeah, maybe. Well, people behind you, maybe today recording a podcast, being like, "This girl stood in front of me the whole time. I couldn't see shit."
I hope they do, because if you go to like a rock concert and you're not up and dancing around and jumping and putting your hands up, like, I don't know.
You know, it's funny. You're making me recall a story. My mother-in-law and her husband went to see Queen earlier this year, and apparently Queen just plays to a bunch of old people now, even with Adam Lambert. And they were there and they were whining and complaining about how loud and dancing and stuff the people in front of them were. And I was like, in my response, I was like, you're at a fucking concert.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of going. Exactly. They were like, it was just rude. It's like, it's not rude.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, but like seriously, all these artists are getting so old. Like I was looking up because Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid opened for them, and I like looked up the ages of these lead singers, and like the lead singer of Rancid is like 57 now. It's like, my god, like you're still doing this. That's amazing.
How were Smashing Pumpkins?
I was not impressed, to be honest. Like I'm not really a fan of either of those two bands, but so I didn't really like know many of their songs or anything like that. But like Smashing Pumpkins didn't impress me. They were fine. I thought Rancid was better.
I didn't realize that Billy Corgan was still like performing.
Yeah,
Running a
His kids
wrestling
came out.
company and shit now. Like what's
And
he doing?
he's still
he had
performing.
wrestlers come out, and he had.
He
his
did have the
team out.
wrestlers come out.
Yes,
That's
Who
why
came
he's
out?
performing. Oh, shit.
I actually missed it. I was in the bathroom for that part. I was very sad because Josh said that the wrestlers came out and there was like this really like hot, scantily clad woman who like beat up this muscle guy, and the kids
Nice.
were like dancing around, and I missed
That's
it.
good wrestling.
I know.
Yeah.
My wife hates Billy Corgan. I cannot stand his voice.
Yeah, maybe that was it. I just like really
He sang a Smashing Pumpkins song at a talent show in high school.
The only song that I knew
very
was
funny.
the one that goes, "Despite all
did?
my rage, I'm still just
I
a
did.
rat in a cage."
Hold on, Rebecca. You just gonna glaze over that he just sung a Smashing Pumpkins song in high school?
I did.
Well, yeah, they
Talent
were
show?
all the rage when he was in high school.
No, they were all the rage several years before I was in high school. Fallout Boy was all the rage when I was in high school.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
But yeah, we had like this little put together band that wanted to perform, and they needed a singer, and I was like, I can sing. I used to be able to scream, like I used to be able to yell somewhat. I can't really
What did you
anymore.
sing?
It wasn't that one. I'd have to look it up. I know the song, but I don't know the name of it.
I
He went
probably
to-
don't know it.
He didn't go to the hits. He went to the underground songs.
Like the deep cuts. No, it was
Yeah.
a hit, but it wasn't like the major hit. It wasn't that.
Did you win?
No, we didn't even place. But we did have folks that liked us. Like a few folks that gave us that said we did a really good job. It just wasn't like it was like this real country school. It wasn't the place to be like, and now performing Smashing Pumpkins' latest hit. Like nobody there liked that music, which is kind of why we did it. Like that was kind of the reason, is because nobody wanted to do that.
I have a funny story now that you reminded me, brought back my memory.
Tell us.
When I was a kid, they had
It was
a talent show.
It was 1979 was the song that I sang, by the way.
Oh, okay. I had to be in third grade. They had a talent show in my school, and I tried to sing Bobby Brown's "Humping Around."
Oh my god! Did they let you?
No, they let me perform it. They're like, "No, you cannot do that."
When you're that age, like you don't really understand all of the lyrics that you're singing. Like you might know it's inappropriate, or like you might understand parts of it, but like you don't get all the references. Like I've been a Green Day fan since probably about then, like third or fourth grade. And I definitely didn't understand all of the stuff that I was singing. But Green Day was really good.
Oh, wait a minute. You say third or fourth. I mean, that's Dookie for me. That's not Dookie for you, though.
No, Dookie came out the year I was born, Donnie.
Oh, nice. Now I feel old.
Yeah, that hurts.
But what I loved about
It's like roles reversed. Suddenly I'm Devin. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
this is the 20th anniversary of American Idiot. He made a point to say so during the show.
That's
And
timely.
that was the album that I started with.
Yeah.
That was my childhood album.
That was like
but-
their fourth best album. They got a lot better before that.
Yeah, I like that. My two favorites are Dookie and American Idiot. And
Yeah.
the lore of the show, the reason why I went out and bought tickets especially was because they played Dookie and American Idiot in their entirety, every single song from both of those
Wow,
albums.
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. So like that,
That's
this
killer.
concert was like tailored for me. Plus, then they played like they played
No pun intended.
Good Riddance, and they and Minority, and a couple of other hits. But yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. I love Green Day. It was great.
That's
Rebecca,
awesome.
Isn't it great to be a fucking adult?
Yes.
To
Yeah.
have money where you could just like, fuck this, I'm going to this concert.
I'm
Yeah.
going to a concert. I'm going to a concert Tuesday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
These are the
great.
cool things about being an adult. Like, hey, I want to just
Donnie.
spend a ridiculous amount of money on some shit that I probably shouldn't get. Just fucking do it. I'm grown.
Well, I'm a little concerned.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's the first week of school, right? Last week was the first week of school. This is their first full week of school. And wouldn't you know that everybody's fucking sick?
Of course.
So I might be going to the concert by myself, which sucks because I got a real kind of special pad to take my wife to. That now I don't even know. Like, she better start over ODing on some zinc and shit. Like, I don't know what to do.
Drink orange juice.
But I'm going to see the Gaslight Anthem, which is one of my favorite bands. It's especially if you think of like, especially if I was to talk about like in the sense of like newer bands, and new by my standards. So like they're like a 2010s band.
Yeah, that's new.
This is one of the newer bands for like outside of my childhood that I really love. And when I say love, I mean like I think I like 95% of their songs.
You'll pay money to go
That's
see.
great.
Well, even though I've paid money to see bands that I like singles of, like they've got like 5 songs I like. This band I love like 30 songs.
Okay.
It's multiple
Definitely
albums
pay
of music that I like of theirs, and their front man's Brian Fallon. And I've told this story before, but I'll give you the short version. Rebecca, I found this band on Guitar Hero.
Oh my gosh.
I found this band on Guitar Hero Live. I was playing it on Wii U, and I was like,
That's
"Holy
great.
shit, this song rocks! Who is this?" And I go to look him up, and here's the funny part of this anecdote. I go to look them up, and they had already disbanded.
No.
They'd already quit by the time I found them. I was like, "No, you're kidding!" So I start listening to their albums, and I'm like, "I love this band. I'll never get to see them." Then a couple years ago, they got back together to do an anniversary tour. They did 4 dates.
Can't miss it.
They were in Philadelphia, they were in Chicago, they were in London, and I think Germany.
Oh wow.
And I tried to get to the Chicago show, and I just couldn't. I couldn't make it happen.
Oh man.
So COVID goes by, and everything goes by. They're not around anymore. And then they released a new album, which I don't particularly like. That's probably my least favorite album, is the newest one they released. But because they got back together to release that album,
They're doing a reunion tour.
they're doing a
together.
tour. And I was like, and I got the alert in my inbox, like, "Yo, the Gaslight Anthem's coming to Atlanta." I was like, I have to go. If anybody wants to know, the Guitar Hero song was "Rollin' and Tumblin'" was the song that introduced me to the band. And I probably have 20 songs of theirs that I really love. They're just a good, like it is very like an old sound. So if you're not into rock and things like that, but they're very like a Springsteen Americana like rock band, not like a punk rock band, not an alternative rock band, like an 80s, 70s rock band, which people don't really do anymore, and haven't for some time. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm going to that concert.
That's exciting.
Even if I have to go alone, I'll be there.
Well,
Don't you get sick?
Yeah, don't get sick.
Yeah, thank you. I feel great. I really do. I said that to everyone. I was like, I feel fine. I don't know what all y'all have, but hopefully my immune system can keep it at bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about music, I'll talk about something that happened my son this week.
Yeah, what a start to the show. We haven't even mentioned it.
Not at all. So, my son is a huge music buff. Like he has like a little website that he on YouTube does like music reviews and stuff like that, videos and stuff. He did one for Kanye's album Vultures 2, which is, spoilers, terrible. He was a big Kanye fan. I was a huge Kanye fan. College Dropout's one of my favorite albums of all time. Kanye fell off. He did like a review of that Vultures 2 album, and so far his review had like over 1,000 views.
Oh, good for him.
He's getting messages about it. He's so excited because it's like the biggest. It's the most he's gotten like since he started, and he's super excited. People are talking about it, his review, and saying how good it is. He's so happy. But it's great.
Good for him.
It's great. Make me proud seeing him doing that stuff. Like, yeah, that's good, son. I'm proud of
That's awesome.
Nice.
What's the channel?
Let me look it up.
Plug the channel.
Yeah, shout it out. We can get our people on it.
Let me look
Get 'em
it
to
up
blow
real
up.
quick.
Like us, all of our 900 subscribers.
I think it's called Ren Plays Things, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Find the link. We'll put it in the show notes.
I'll get the link from him.
Heck yeah. Besides Green Day, I am doing the Splatfest.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, that game is much better when you are like voice chatting with friends and like just being silly.
Sure.
And And I'm still doing my Super Nintendo wheel yesterday. I spun Super Punch Out. I remember so that was one of the first games that I ever played because I got that with my Super Nintendo, but like I was bad at it when I was a kid. So I tried it again as an adult and it frustrated me to no end because that's not a fighting game. That's a rhythm game.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And I got so frustrated that I gave up on it. And I tried it again yesterday because that's what the wheel landed on. And I was doing a lot better with it. So maybe I'll try to keep playing.
Was chat helping you?
They were.
Yeah, I could see something like that. Yeah, because that's what you miss when you're a kid and you have Punch Out. You're like, I don't know what the hell to do.
Because it happens so fast. And it's like,
unless
I
you get
what pattern this is.
Yeah, unless you get like some guidance or a guide or, a text or something. It's like, yo, watch out for this. And you're like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah. Yep. So that's me. I'm just doing whatever. I'm waiting for Zelda.
I'm eager to talk about that.
His YouTube is called The Ren Show. And his ad on YouTube is Ren Talks About. And he's like, does like reviews for like everything on there. He's about as scatterbrained as me. Reviews for music, reviews for comic books, reviews for TV shows and stuff like that.
I'm going to get him to sponsor a review of the Gaslight Anthem, like an album from the Gaslight Anthem. Like, tell me what you think about it.
He would actually do that.
I watched the TikToks. I'm sure Rebecca's seen them. I watched the TikToks of like Gen Z kids listening to old music. And they put the headphones on. So the first time they've ever heard like Fleetwood Mac or Zeppelin or something. And like you hear them like respond to it like live in real time. It's fascinating. I love watching it. Because sometimes they're like brutal. Sometimes they're like, this is terrible. And then sometimes they're like, oh, I fucking love that. Who is this? It's great.
I love the banner art on his channel. It has a Mudkip on it.
Yes. I'm texting him right now, letting him know we're talking about your YouTube on the show.
We're gonna blow up his channel.
Make him famous.
6 subscribers.
There it is. There's the link.
Donnie.
Yo.
What are you playing?
Doom.
Yeah. We have Doom news to talk about later.
We do. If you didn't see the news, QuakeCon happened, which is, they should call it DoomCon at this point because that was all they talked about was Doom. But I'll just read the news now. Let's just get out of the way.
Yeah, let's go to it.
Doom 1 and 2 got a definitive edition this week. Free to anybody that owned Doom. So if you bought Doom on Switch at any point or PC or any console, you just got this upgrade for free. It's now running in Night Dive's Kex engine and has a brand new soundtrack.
Wait, what if I have the game on my calculator? Do I get the upgrade?
No, I don't think so. I think you'd still have to buy it.
My smart fridge?
It has to be on a real system. Baby systems.
So it's running on a brand new engine. On consoles, it can run up to 120 FPS. On Switch, it's at 60. It's like a complete remaster. I was talking to Sean about it last night on Sweet Hangs. It's like perfected. This is Doom perfected. It's like the perfect version of Doom. It doesn't sound like a lot. You're like, oh, it's like an update. When you go hands on it, it's not. This is the real deal. It's like a full blown and almost like a remaster. Like and the new music is incredible. It also features idVault, which has a bunch of concept art for both games that are in it. There's a new official Doom episode called Legacy of Russ, a 16 map campaign from creators at id, Machine Games, and Night Dive Studios. And that's what I'm playing. And when I tell you that I'm getting my ass handed to me by this chapter of Doom,
really?
It's so hard. The other day I was playing a level and I clicked a switch and I swear 100 enemies came on. I was like, how? With what ammo am I supposed to fight this? like where?
And this is all free for anyone who owns Doom?
That's the craziest. Yeah, it's free. It's like, it feels like if this was PlayStation, they would have charged you for this. Yes. Xbox is like, no, you have it for free. It's on Game Pass. If you had it before, it's a free update. You get on PC, you get it anywhere. It's like they're just giving like, y'all need to make some money, right? Like at some point, like sell some stuff. I will give you money for this.
They think it'll push new like sales on new consoles that people don't have it on. I don't know.
It's pretty incredible. And I've been playing it, and it's hard. It's tough. It's drop kicking you in the face. Like I'm getting it handed to me. I don't know if maybe I just suck. We have XBS that he's talking about it. But maybe I just suck, but I'm getting handled. XPS says seems to fix the motion sickness for you. There's a ton of accessibility options in the game. So you can change like the wobble, like if you don't like that sway when you're running, you can lessen that. You can increase the screen size. You can basically anything you could think of, you could turn on and off in the game.
That's great.
You can have the old music or the new music, and they've redone like the menus, like the UI. So everything is like wrapped in like a launcher. So you start the game, it's like here are all the episodes.
Why are they doing this?
I would say because I believe I heard that a lot of Machine Games has been doing a lot of the dev work. I think they're doing this because they're probably working on Indiana Jones, and this is like a team that needed something to do. I would
Works
guess.
for me.
Okay.
Or maybe just to have an announcement for a quick. I don't know. It's awesome though. It's really awesome. Oh yeah, and all the Dooms are on sale. Like you can pick up Doom on sale everywhere. And yeah, definitely go. Now's the time. Go play Doom.
Wow.
So I've been doing that. Before that happened, and by the way, this is completely screwing up all my plans. I wanted to play Cat Quest 3, which I had pre-ordered, which I just gave to Delvin. And the day it comes out, the damn Five Nights at Freddy's game that I've wanted to play also stealth releases, and then Bethesda's like, "Oh, by the way, greatest Doom ever." I'm like, "What? Wait a minute! I had a plan to play this game. Like that plan went out the window as soon as the day started."
Yes, what a day! Like I didn't realize he got me part 3 until like because when you put in the Steam code, it doesn't tell you the game. It's just like you just redeem.
Oh yeah, you've activated a product. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to go, I had to wait till I had my actual Steam Deck with me to look like, oh, Cat Quest, this is what I wanted. This is dope.
Yeah, I was thinking about you. I think we had just recorded.
We did the same thing to each other.
Yeah, like we had just recorded, and I was like, man, I want to get Delvin something. It's been a minute, and Cat Quest was on sale. I bought it on Green Man Gaming. So I got Cat Quest for like $13.99, and it had like a pre-order bonus, like on Steam. Like you could buy it, and you get it for like $15.99. And I was like, I'm just gonna get Delvin a copy of this game. We can talk about it together. And I sent it to him. And when I go to send it to him, he had already sent me something. So like, we were both doing the same thing.
That's funny. I still need to play the first 2 Cat Quests.
Yeah, I like the 2. I haven't beat either one of them, but I've played them both, and I do like them. But Cat Quest 3 really got me because it's Cat Quest, but if it was Wind Waker. And I was like, oh shit, I have to play this game.
That's the new one?
Yeah, you get a little boat and you can sail around to different islands. Different islands have different dungeons. And I was like, oh, this is my shit.
I probably don't need to play the first. I have
I wouldn't.
them, but I might as well just
you don't have to.
jump into 3.
Yeah, I would just play 3.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that SNES cart. Don't worry.
Okay.
I was saving that for later.
I was looking it up.
And then I also opened my eShop and I got not an alert, but I was like right there on the homepage. There's a game called Golf versus Zombies on sale, which I bought and started playing. It was like $5. I was like, sure, let's give this a try. I wrote Zombie Golf. I think I've been calling it Zombie Golf. Like in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's Zombie Golf. But that's not actually the name of the game. It's like Golf versus Zombies or Zombies versus Golf or something.
Golf versus Zombies, $6.99.
It's not amazing, but it's oddly like kind of addictive. It's a little janky, but the loop of the game is pretty interesting. So you start and you meet this guy. He runs a golf course, and it's like zombies have risen up and taken over the world. So there is no economy, there's no government, everything's gone. So like you survive the world. It's like almost like Fallout-ish. You survive the world by trading bottle caps, but they've all been like taken. So the guy at the golf course is like, hey, if you play golf and kill these zombies, you'll earn bottle caps. So you have like this, when you go to start playing golf, you have like this little mini game where you're put in a golf cart, and it's like an auto driver where you like run around and you run over as many zombies as you can, and you earn bottle caps. Then you get to the golf course where you actually golf. So you like hold the button to press and you hit the ball. When you hit the ball like in the fairway, there are these spots throughout the course where zombies can come up. So you hit the ball, and then you're into like this section where zombies are approaching you, and you have to hit the zombies with the golf ball to kill them. And if they get to you, you lose all your bottle caps and have to start over.
Oh no.
And they kind of meander at you. It's slow zombies. But the game has like this off center camera angle for this little section where it's not even like over the shoulder, it's like off shoulder. And that makes trying to hit them a little challenging because you can't, like when you hold the button, you get a trail of where your ball's going to go, but you can't stop it. Like you can't aim it out. So you kind of have to feel it and let it go or it'll go too far. So it gets like, it's not hard by any means, but it's like, there's like a little tension there. And those strokes that you use to kill the zombies are added to your par to finish the hole.
I was going to ask that. I was literally going to ask that question.
To the golf thing, so that's why it's a golf game. So you have to kill the zombies and complete the hole in a certain amount of strokes to get the most amount of bottle caps. And when you do it, you get the bottle caps, you go back to the guy at the beginning, and you can buy like balls that explode or better like a drone, or you can buy other holes to play, other courses to play. So it's almost like that rogue kind of progression, right? Where you go out there and you do your thing and you come back and you upgrade a little bit more and you kind of keep doing it and you kind of keep doing. So it's got a little of that addictiveness to it. It is jank though. Like, so just anybody, like if you're like, oh, it sounds fun, like just know it's a little janky. It's got some of that like cheap game. It's like a game mill jank going on there.
Two things I'm noticing. I looked it up on the eShop page. It looks like there's multiplayer. Invite up to 3 more people.
There is. Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but there is.
And then the description is kind of funny. It says, take your club, hit those courses, collect bottle caps. What currency did you expect? Rupees? It's funny.
And what is it called, Donnie?
Golf versus zombies?
Yeah.
Okay, because I see an actual zombie golf on Steam. That's what I'm trying to see.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what because I went to Steam and I was like, I wonder how much this is on Steam. And I typed in zombie golf and I was like, that's not it. That's when I learned that wasn't the name of the game.
Okay,
Even though
gotcha.
I'd already bought it and played it, the whole time in my head, I just kept calling it zombie golf.
Oh, this looks good.
I know. It does look exciting. I might want to try it.
It's a good, cheap game. I just want to like everything in context. It's a good
on
cheap
sale
game.
right now. $6.99.
Yeah, if you're looking for something cheap, I would recommend it. It's not bad for a couple bucks.
Yeah, it looks fun.
You were the golf game guru.
Especially if you don't like golf. Like if you're looking for a golf game that's not like a golf game, if you're like one of those, this is kind of fun. Yeah.
This is like something I would see on the Wii.
Yeah. It does have that kind of energy for sure.
I like it.
But is it interesting? It's different. I've never played anything like it. I give you that for sure.
Nice. Anything else you want to talk about before we jump into the news?
No. What about Delvin? You play anything?
No, I haven't been playing much. I've been busy.
This is him for like a month now.
We're all waiting for
podcast.
Zelda.
Well, last week I played some stuff, and I was on every podcast talking about it. Like, now I feel like an idiot. Let me talk about this game I played on. Oh, I heard you on another podcast. I'm like, okay, I'll stop.
No, that's okay. We want to hear.
I haven't played much this week. I still got to set up my X-Men arcade cabinet. I've been busy as shit.
Nice.
And I'm still watching a movie for
What have you watched? Anything new? Anything good?
Yes, I have. What is the name of it? I'm gonna look it up right now. I thought it was really good. Well, last night I watched I'm looking up the name of the movie because I can't remember it.
I was like, you don't even remember the movie you watched last night?
In a Violent Nature. That's the name of the movie.
So that I almost rented this week, but I held off because that's coming to Shudder in like 3 weeks. And I was like, I'll just watch it on Shudder.
I bought it a while ago because I like of course you know the concept of this movie.
Yeah, no, I know.
I love the concept of this movie, and I really enjoyed it.
Super divisive.
I really enjoyed it.
People either love it or hate it, but there's not a whole lot of in between on this one. People are like, this is great, or people are like, this is the worst thing I've ever watched.
I think I lean towards the great part of it. I think it's really good. I like what it did. I think there's some elements of it they could have went further into and
Rebecca
kind of
just completely check out.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm listening.
But there's some elements they could have went deeper into with the whole gimmick of the whole thing, Rebecca, is it's a horror movie from the perspective of the killer.
Oh.
In particular, it's like Friday the 13th, but if you're the camera, the point of view is like Jason.
I see.
Yes. My problem with that is sometimes, for plot reasons and stuff, they go away from that, and I think that's where it kind of falters a little bit. Like, why? And sometimes it don't make any sense. Why did you go away from it? Like, no, you should have stayed with the whole idea. Because I like the whole idea of you like watching the campers and getting it from the perspective of the killer. And we're like, yeah, I kind of see why you want to kill these people.
Is it scary?
Yeah, oh yeah,
That's the whole point. Yeah.
yeah. I liked some of the kills are good. One of them is just ridiculously stupid. It's like incredibly stupid.
That's very Friday the 13th.
It's almost laughable. It's very
I love
It's
it.
very Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at. That's what I want.
When you see this kill, Donnie, you're gonna laugh, and you're gonna laugh.
I watch when it comes to
very
Shudder. XBS is talking about Late Night with the Devil, which I loved.
I love that one too.
Yeah, I watched. I was gonna watch it. I was looking for a movie to rent. I was between the TV Glow and that one, and then for whatever reason, I was on Tubi, and I came across a movie called Cutting Class. It's an 80s horror movie starring a young Brad Pitt.
Oh,
It's awful.
That one now.
It's a terrible movie.
Oh no.
But I watched it. I was like, this is wild. I got to see this. And it's it's not good. It's mediocre. It's not awful, but it's okay.
Yeah. Aliens come out another week or so.
Romulus next weekend. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be there.
And I got that to watch. I bought.
Are you gonna watch any
Girl Who
Aliens
Got
movie
Away.
before you go? Because I'm thinking about watching. I don't know, Prometheus, maybe Covenant, maybe Aliens. Right? I don't know.
That's a good idea. I didn't like Covenant.
Yeah,
might
I
give it
think
another shot.
most people did it. I know a lot of people hated Prometheus, and I liked the Prometheus a lot. But
Okay. I like Prometheus a lot too.
yeah,
So I
we
got
gotta get-
three
we
movies
gotta
in
get
queue
the
to
show
watch.
back
Got it.
on the track.
I got 3 movies in the queue to watch for horror movies.
Yeah.
The Girl Who Got Away,
Okay.
Maxine, of course,
Yep.
and Mickey Mouse, the Mousetrap.
Oh,
It's out. It was like $10. I have to see if it's good.
no, for me, I got Romulus, Beetlejuice, and then and I'll probably be done for most of the year. I got a couple
It's
more to catch up on.
Halloween time, Donnie.
I'm
Yeah.
very aware.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
would
get
be
prepared.
playing my decorations already if it wasn't 97 degrees outside.
Oof.
It's like freaking hot as Hades. I've already I've bought Halloween decorations for the season already.
Nice.
I did
I
that
always
this
like to see-
weekend.
I always like to see your house set up for it. It's always
I'm very
the best.
excited. I would like to get it put up in the next coming weeks, but if it's going to stay this hot, it's got to at least come down to like the 80s before I start putting it up. Maybe the first September.
Is it Zelda time yet?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Nintendo dropped a trailer for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. This trailer was called Traversing Hyrule.
It was like 5 minutes long.
It felt like a direct for the game, for
Yeah.
me. Like I was like, wait a minute, this is way more than just how to traverse this fucking game.
Mhm.
It took me a few days to watch it. I didn't get to watch it until like Thursday because I was just like, I just didn't have time. Like I saw how long the trailer was and I wanted to pay attention, and I was like, okay, I'll just keep waiting, and I watched it the day after we recorded PSVG. But the trailer showed off new traversal abilities, new characters, new enemies, and a bunch more. And then what I really took away, like my main takeaway from the trailer, was this game, it just mixes and remixes so much Zelda stuff from so many games.
Right?
Link's Awakening, Majora, Ocarina. There's a ton of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom stuff in this game. Skyward Sword that I never expected this from this game.
I'm
And I don't know why, but when they first showed it to me, I was very much expecting a Link's Awakening-ish type of experience.
It is not like
Me too.
that.
This is way bigger than that. There's way more, I feel like there's way more like density. There's way more put into it than that. And now this game went from like, oh, that's cool, I'll play like this Zelda game while we wait for the next Switch, to now like, now I'm going to drop
For
everything.
hours and hours.
And now I'm going to like, no,
hours.
this is the Zelda game that I'm going to play. Like, this is a Zelda game. I didn't, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just me. Am I alone in that? Because that's where I was, and this trailer came out, and now I'm in a completely different place in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw people calling this a spin-off when it was first announced, and I'm like, I don't think this is a spin-off, guys. And like now nobody can say that after this.
It just felt like and I think it's probably because of the other games Nintendo announced. it just felt like they're winding down, and these are like, smallerish type games that they're like padding out while we get ready for the next console. And this game is not that. This game, like, this is a Zelda game.
XPS
And
says it might be the first 2D Zelda to rival the 3D Zelda in terms of
Yeah.
size. And
Yeah.
that makes sense after seeing this.
So I was kind of taken aback when I actually got to the trailer. I was like, oh shit. Like,
We'll
I was
talk
very
about
surprised.
some of the stuff. Talk about some of the stuff it shows.
All right, so there's lots of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom isms. There's lots of like characters, there's lots of landmarks, there's lots of locations, but more than anything, the menus, the player UI, the iconography, the things that you're using, the systems, the questing, like that's all like right out of there. I never expected that. I was like, oh shit, like this is the whole thing. It's like open world. It seemingly like it's really big, so big that Zelda can ride a horse around. That's how big it is. It's a 2D game. You just get on the horse, ride the horse around.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's any walls. Like you couldn't most 2D Zeldas, like you can't scale the trees or like this. It seems like it's kind of like how they sold Breath of the Wild. Like you see that mountain, you can climb it.
Go there, yeah.
Like, there seems to be, if you get creative enough, you can scale any wall, any tree, any pass. Like if you figure out a way to do it, you can do it. There's no walls.
We get a brief glimpse of the map, which like in the middle looks like A Link to the Past. You're like, oh yeah, that's the map. That's the map we know. And then it like kind of zooms out and it's like all clouded, but you see how bigger it is, like how much map is around. You're like, oh no, like this is way bigger. That was like the moment for me. I was like, oh wait, whoa, what is that? So we saw Kakariko Village, the Elder Volcano, Jabu Waters, where we see the sea, and the river Zoras. The Faron Wetlands, which has like all these ruins around, which is very Breath of the Wild-ish. If we talked about all those ruins and what it meant for the Zonai and all that stuff. Like you wonder if there's like a link there. And we saw the Gerudo Desert, which has an oasis, just like Breath of the Wild, and has Gerudo Town, which you can't enter unless you're female, which Zelda is. So she just walk right on in. Like there's lots of DNA there. And like my main takeaway before we start talking about the abilities, my main takeaway is like, we talk all the time about like, these timelines and the aspects that these Zelda games share in these different timelines and universes. This seems like it's taking every like a page out of every Zelda game and putting it into one game, and that has me like super stoked to play. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there was did you see the Zora medallion icon?
Yes, it was.
I saw that
crest of the Zora.
On Threads, somebody was like, yo, we're gonna collect medallion. I got like way too excited about that. I was like, are there sages? I was like, oh no.
I mean,
yeah,
it sounds like maybe there's still some stuff that they haven't shown us yet.
In Jabu Waters, like, is Jabu there? Like that was my takeaway from that. I was like, is that what that is?
Yeah.
So very cool. We also got to see that Zelda can use Ultra Hand. I mean, they call it Bind now.
But it's Ultra Hand.
It's Ultra Hand. So Zelda can pick up and move like this. They showed in the trailer like this giant boulder that's blocking the path. But you can also do that to enemies. So you could grab the enemy and just like drag them off the map and like let them go into the abyss. Or, which I think is the more fun part, they showed how Zelda can Ultra Hand to enemies and reverse bond herself thing to like things that are moving. So, for example, think of a bird. You're on a cliff and you see a bird fly by. You could Ultra Hand to the bird, and now you're flying because you're connected to the bird that's flying. So now you can fly around. And they showed her using like a spider, I think, to climb a wall.
To climb trees.
That's crazy. So
That's
yeah, like you start to see, when I start to see things like that, it's like that gets my mind racing way more than the Echo does. It's like, oh, what can we do to this game?
Hyrule brought up a good point in chat. You can't Ultra Hand enemies in Tears of the Kingdom, but you can in this. So it's like
good point. I didn't think about
in depth than that.
Yeah. So that was really cool. They showed fast travel, so you get to activate stones, which is a very 2D Zelda thing. There's a smoothie stand where you can collect fruit and go to the smoothie stand, and you can make elemental potions that let you do stuff, which again, very Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom thing.
Zelda is not drinking those weird potions that Link drinks. She needs something high class. She is royalty. She
Smoothie
needs
King.
smoothies.
Facts.
Smoothie King.
Smoothie queen.
And then the trailer closes with the rift kind of like swallowing Hyrule Castle. So that's like the big catastrophe.
Well, it doesn't just end with that. It has like a beam of light coming out of the rift. So, and then she enters it.
And I'm wondering, there was that description, like this whole trailer that showed nothing but Zelda. So it really gives off the impression you're playing this game totally as Zelda. But like I said before, I do wonder when you enter the rift if you do get a chance to play as Link.
Maybe.
And they do like that overworld, underworld thing. I wonder if they're maybe trying to hold that back as a surprise, or maybe not. I'm not rooting for it or against it. I just wonder.
I don't think it's like switching between Zelda and Link, but I do think they're holding something back from showing us. I think there might be like another ability in addition to what we have seen, because there's the different buttons on the D-pad for try. And so like now we have like Echo as one, Ultra Hand as one. I think one of them will be like using some kind of elemental power.
That'd be cool.
You know, to make it, I guess, combat a little bit more elemental.
I do want to get a bow. I want to kick ass with Zelda and her bow, and I want to shoot light arrows at things. So I hope at some point we get to do that. But yeah, I get the sense from the marketing they've shown and like how they're clipping things that they're being somewhat cagey. And there's something here, something important, like something big to the game, something that like we're all going to talk about after the game comes out, that they're like kind of keeping.
Oh, and you didn't even talk about how we can get like different outfits for her to wear that are different upgrades, like in Breath of the Wild,
yeah, I did not.
Tears of the Kingdom. Like you can go buy flippers from the Zora shop, and it makes you swim faster. They showed like a frog headband or something that makes you jump higher.
Yeah.
And then she has like the Gerudo outfit, her dress, the cape. Like different outfits will be able to do different things for her, I think.
It's very Link Between Worlds meets Breath of the Wild, and that is fucking awesome. Like I'm way more excited about this game today than I was a week ago.
And there's multiple horses that you can, when you get a carrot, you can call your horse. They showed a brown horse and they showed a white horse, so maybe you can have multiple ones and keep them at a stable. And this is the first single player 2D Zelda game that you can ride a horse.
That's dope.
It was crazy when they showed that, when they panned the camera away and she started taking off and you see her riding across screens and stuff. I was like, oh shit, like that's new.
I'm very excited.
I appreciate that the costumes they have in here for Zelda don't feel pandering. And what I mean by that is, the Peach game came out earlier this year, and it's like, oh, she's a detective now. She's a race car. You're like, all right, fam, relax.
These ones make sense.
I mean, I know that but like the America got caught up at the Barbie movie. That felt timely. I don't think that was pandering. It felt very timely. It's like they were kind of trying to position her as like the Barbie of the Nintendo.
I think that makes sense for Peach, but not for Zelda.
Of course not. No, of course not. I just, I didn't think it was a cheap tactic. I was like, once you kind of see those two things come out together, it's like, oh, I could see how you probably make that correlation.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't go that route with this, and it kind of like it feels like it makes more sense for this character to. All right, these outfits and things.
They're practical.
Yeah.
Practical things.
I mean, it's Zelda. Yeah, I mean, I expected it. It seems like a Zelda game. You get gear and stuff and elemental items and things to traverse and puzzle around.
Donnie, I don't know if you saw on the Japanese website, they showed some of the game's characters that were not in the trailer.
Of course.
I
have not seen it, but of course they did.
So they showed the King of Hyrule. There is somebody who works for the royal family named Minister Sadari. And these are all like the Japanese names for them. So they might be the same when it's translated to English, or it might not be. Minister Sadari, it's a girl. General Ugi, I guess is how you would say it. He's part of the Hyrule military. They showed Impa. We have old Impa again. And then we have, I guess it's Ruberi is the name. It's Impa's older brother who is researching the rifts. He kind of gives like the Robbie type of character.
Cool.
He's like this older guy with glasses.
Do we have a confirmation of Ganon yet or not?
I mean, he was in the trailer, the first trailer in the
Right.
opening.
I wanted to
It
say
was
I
Link.
thought so.
But Link defeated him, or he went into the rifts. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I'm so excited. This is definitely going to be my game of the year.
Already.
That's good, though. I'm glad you're excited.
Wrap it up.
I'm confident. I think that this trailer made it so that we go from playing like 20 hours of this game to like 60 hours of this
That's
game.
exactly where my headspace went.
Yeah.
And having seen it, I mean, I was already kind of in this place before, but like it's really going to throw a wrench into like what I planned on doing, because I have so many games that are coming out. So like at this point, I'm now skipping Outlaws. I'll catch Outlaws in the back half. I'll catch it in November or something. I don't have time. I have time to play Outlaws because my hope is to like get as much Space Marine in as I can before Zelda comes out.
Which it comes out in just about a month. It comes out.
But then like Lollipop dumps like right on top of that, and Shadows of the Dam is in October, and then Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, and then Black Ops. Like I am struggling to find time already.
When does Clock Tower come out?
I don't remember. I want October. I want to say.
All of that stuff can wait, Donnie.
Oh no, it will. It will. Well, the Steam page doesn't say. I know they did give us a date, but I can't.
I think it is in October.
Yeah, I think it's in October.
Because I ordered off of PlayAsia.
But I like it's tough when you juggle multiple consoles. You know, not everybody gets to do that. It's not. I'm not whining about it, but like just even finding time for things. Like I really was excited. I am excited to play Outlaws, but it's like I think Space Marine comes out like the week after, like 5 days after. It's like there's no way.
Like I said,
there's absolutely no way
baby.
that I can. There's no way I can do both of those things.
Yeah.
So, which is okay. It'll mean that it'll be there for me when the time comes. When does Echoes release? Like
September 26th.
Yeah, I thought it was back half of September. So that means I can get to Space Marine and maybe Lollipop. I can get those in before Zelda comes out.
And then we have a month for Zelda before Life is Strange Double Exposure comes out.
Oh, yeah. I'm interested in that one.
Which I'm very excited for.
Sorry, I had to go on mute because this dog is over here and he just barks nonstop.
It's okay. We like your dog.
Yeah, Life is Strange might have to go on the bench for a moment. I may not be able to be right away. And the other game I'm thinking about, Astro.
Oh,
that's the other game. So I'll be doing Space Marine, Astro, and Lollipop to get to Zelda, which who knows how long that'll take me.
Yeah,
right. And that comes out right in October, where I'll be watching all of my horror movies and stuff. So that saps a lot of my game time. You know, like I could make a case Zelda may take me in and through November. You know, like a lot of things may just get pushed back. I may be playing things in December. I may not get to Outlaws or Call of Duty or whatnot until then. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, I get it.
Packed. Everything is just packed in there. Oh, and I got Mario Party, right? You know, I got other Switch games too.
A lot of stuff, man.
A lot of stuff. It's a good problem to have.
It is. And you know what? These games aren't going to go anywhere. You don't have to rush to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play at your own pace.
100%. So speaking of new releases, SteamWorld Heist 2 is out. So is Cat Quest 3. Stumble Guys drops on Switch on the 20th. And then Castlevania's Count Dracula and Trevor Belmont come to Dead by Daylight on the 27th. So those are pretty cool. And didn't we talk about Mystery Dungeon? Got added to NSO?
Did we? It just was added last night.
Oh, nice. So it's out now. That's nice.
Yeah.
So for anybody that missed the remake and don't want to play a better version, you can play the old version.
Free.
We talked about Doom earlier, but the thing that I didn't say is that a new and improved Super Nintendo version of Doom is being sold by Limited Run Games. It will include all episodes, performance improvements, monster respawns on harder difficulties, level codes, and Rumble support via a new controller that they didn't talk about. So apparently somebody's about to release a Super Nintendo controller with Rumble in it. And this is original hardware. It's not like a ROM. It's original
That's
hardware
cool.
they're making and selling. That is cool. So if you got any collectors out there, you retro enthusiasts, if you're playing on OG Super Nintendo hardware
Or a Super NT from Analog.
or that, very good. Get over to Limited Run Games. Maybe try to get one of those. I think it's like $200, something like
Oh
that.
my
I think
God.
it's like
Oh,
it's
you
not
gotta
cheap.
have
People
the
still make a Super
card,
Nintendo
controller.
games.
And there's also an anthology that they released. I may be confusing it. There's a bunch of stuff that they announced you could buy. I've bought so much Doom stuff in the last couple of years. Like I just kind of tuned it out. I was like, I can't keep buying this. Like I've bought this over and over and over again. I bought this Doom 64, like Limited Run Games. I got the 64 cartridge and everything. I can't be doing all that. Okay. We're gonna get into some rumors now.
We love rumors.
We do. These are fun. I don't know if these are the reason. I suspect that maybe they are, but I wanted to ask you guys this, because I'm on Threads and nobody's really on Threads. So I'm on Threads and I'm kind of watching like YouTube videos and stuff. Reddit. I do see the Reddit stuff. I seen a shit ton of Switch 2 talk this week. Like it just blew up. I'm not sure why. Because you would think after the Zelda trailer, you think everybody would be still focused on, but like everybody suddenly started talking about Switch 2. The Game Explain actually might be a part of it. There's a lot of, Nintendo channels that like are changing or canceling or closing because there's not enough Nintendo stuff to talk about. So maybe that's why people are talking about. There's just a ton of Switch 2 stuff to talk about. Have you guys seen that too?
No.
I have seen that.
You have
It's
seen
picked
that.
up. Yes, it has been picking up lately. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just blew up. So let's talk about these rumors. So the first one, actually not a rumor. There's a new cartridge patent that was discovered, been floating around. I think it came out like 6 months ago. So there's like these little patent drawings of what the cartridge might look like. That's a real thing. Rumor number one: Switch 2 may stream to the TV.
Isn't that what we said? We said that would be such a cool thing.
I think we've talked about it a few times over maybe the year. I think maybe a couple years. We have talked about that being a thing that could possibly happen. So that was the first rumor. The first rumor comes from a poster on Family Boards. Take that however you want. People said as a track record person, I don't know who it is. I didn't even care to write it down because rumors are just fun to talk about. Don't believe any of this to be true until it's actually true. But yeah, the idea that you could cast from the Switch to the television is interesting because, and where people are going with this immediately, it brings into the question, could you dual screen something?
That was my first thought because I remember we specifically talked about that because we said how cool that would be if, we could just wirelessly, you have like a little dongle or something on your TV and then you cast it to your TV and then you have like the gameplay up on the TV and then whatever the Wii U gamepad used to have on the gamepad.
And this function is already available on phones and tablets you have today. If anybody that uses AirPlay, if you have like an iPad or an iPhone, you can cast something to the television while also scrolling and things on your phone. So this is technology that existed for some time. Which is, there's a part of me that like, I want to eat the hype. Like I want to. I like
want that to be real.
The idea that that's real is like something I really want to get behind. I don't though. Only because I wonder if it brings up a development issue, which is like the legacy of the Wii U is that people had to develop for that, and that's why ports were hard to come by. And I don't know if Nintendo, like the new Nintendo, Furukawa's Nintendo, is not that. They're super conservative. I expect them to not rock the boat, not try to do something that would turn people off from supporting their system.
Well, I think the beauty of that is that the games would have to be able to be played on handheld anyway. So you would have, just normal when you're playing in handheld, like let's take a Zelda game that you were able to just bring up your menu normally the way that you would for any game. But then if you're playing it TV mode, you would have that option to have the menu. So like the developers can develop for that if they want to, or it can just be like normal.
The other thing that comes to my mind when you think of being able to cast a Switch screen to a television without putting the Switch in the dock is like, one, the Switch actually becomes a controller, right? Right now, if you dock the Switch, you need an extra controller. Now it doesn't. It becomes a controller.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could bring, and this is something I haven't seen on like the Reddits yet or anything. What if you could connect multiple systems? Like, what does that do for multiplayer? Like, I was talking about this with Sean last night, and here's where my mind went when I started thinking of this. We see a Switch commercial. I keep trying to envision what does the Switch commercial look like? What does Switch do? What's the commercial that they show us? You see a kid sit down on the couch. He's playing Mario Kart. He presses the TV button, and it magically appears on the television, and he's racing around, right? And then his brother or sister sits down next to him with a Switch, and they're also playing.
That's
and then
cool.
the mom sits down and they're also playing. I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. That just sounds like a Nintendo fucking thing to do.
It really does. I could see that being a trailer, and like that would definitely push like it's not a console for the household. It's everybody needs their own.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of Nintendo Land things to do. There's a lot of things here with this idea. I told Sean last night, I was like, if this is true, if we get this trailer and this is true, I may have to like pull out the Eat the Hype name again, because I'm gonna lose my shit. Like the sheer idea that we could go back to having a dual screening Zelda experience or something like that, like, gets me really excited.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just reserving optimism right now because it just seems like a lot, like, but that could be the gimmick. We talk about like, how do they make it different? That could be it. I just feel like if that was the gimmick, I feel like we'd know it by now. I feel like somebody would have had a source that would have mentioned something like that,
I don't know. They're really cracking down on the leaks. You saw what happened to Pioro.
They have been very cagey about this whole thing.
Let me ask this question then. Do you think people will be disappointed if there's no gimmick? If it's just more of just a stronger Switch?
No, I don't think disappointed, but I think you'll hear it talked about. People mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there will be fewer people that will upgrade right away if there's not like some kind of gimmick.
Yeah, like they got to win people over with software in that point. It's got to be about games.
Yeah.
They got to have the games that make you want to upgrade. Rumor 2 comes from Nintendo Universe, which is that Portuguese site that has had several rumors over like the last 12, 18 months. Some of them I think have been true. I think some of them haven't. But they said the Switch 2 has a dock and that it may be wireless, like it may still cast to the television, but they said it has a cooler in it and that the battery, the charger's at 60 watts. That would be almost double the charger of the one that we currently have. So the idea there is when the Switch is docked, it has a built-in cooler, like a fan that helps it cool off. So maybe you could overclock it and have more performance when you put it in the dock than we typically expect, which could help it boost up with I guess with ports and stuff. That seems more, I think, likely to believe, I think. But those rumors are going around and it got a lot of people talking about what it could be, especially that casting Wii U one. I could see it cast and not do the dual screen thing. Like I could just see it have the ability to cast if you want to, but it doesn't dual screen. I could see that being a thing. The casting doesn't get me as much. And I wonder if it could cast on its own. I think we talked about this before. I definitely remember bringing it up. Do you think you could see a situation where they sell the dock separately?
Yes.
Where it's like you can cast and connect from your Switch directly.
100%.
But if you want more power and what, you can buy the dock. And like that kind of helps them.
For $79.99.
Yeah, like it kind of helps them keep the price in check. Right? But if you want both, it's like $500. But if you only want the one, it's like $399. Like I wonder if there's something there.
No, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
I can definitely see that.
People are thirsty. They want to know. They want to know when. They want to know why. Like the people are wanting the Switch 2. I feel like it's starting to reach a fever pitch. And I wonder when Nintendo's going to do something about it. But we'll find out. Walmart has dropped the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch Lite to $159.99 this week. It's still up. I checked it this morning. So that's a $40 price cut. That's pretty
I
significant.
forgot that there was
That's
a
good.
Animal Crossing Switch
It's
Lite.
pretty. I like it though. I'm not a big Animal Crossing fan, but I've always thought that those designs were really nice. It's got like the brown Animal Crossing logo, and on the back it's got like the floral, like the pattern. I was like, these are actually really nice lights. The reason that I threw this in here is this may just be Walmart and Nintendo trying to clear stock. Sure. We talked about this last week, I think. Nintendo didn't cut their projected hardware sales for the year. And I was wondering, like, do they have a price cut or something that they're thinking about? Now, this isn't a permanent price cut, but I'm wondering, is this the Black Friday where we see like some super deep discounts on stuff, like some doorbuster ideas?
Do you think there's a chance they could be like testing the waters here to see if more people buy it at that price?
Yep. That's exactly what I was
And they're
thinking.
using that one as like the example.
I think they're probably wondering, all right, if we drop it, let's drop it $40. Let's see, how does it pick up?
Yeah.
Or do we have to drop it more? Like, could you see a doorbuster deal where you can get a Switch Lite for like $125 or
I don't know about
$149?
125, maybe 149.
Yeah, and like I'm wondering, like, they still sell the OG Switch, the non-OLED. I could see something like that, like maybe $199. Like, could they come down? Like, there's a lot of room there. They can still make money off of and still move consoles.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they didn't do it with a Wii U, and they've really refrained from doing it ever since. Like, they have bundles, but they don't really drop prices. That's something they did during the 3DS. But
I think they're gonna want to get their stock off the shelves for the new Switch. Like that wasn't really the case with the Wii U, but I think that'll be the case this time.
I agree. Stray lands on Switch November 19th.
Woo! I'm getting it physical, baby.
Very cool. You'll get 3 months of Nintendo Switch Online if you pre-order Super Mario Party, digitally or physically. You'll get 3 months of Nintendo Switch Online included. On
good deal.
Yeah. Have you guys? They've been running a lot of promos on Switch Online. I just re-upped last night because I got an email that said if you re-up before, I think it's today. I think today's the deadline. If you re-up your Switch Online membership today, they'll give you a $10 in gold coins.
Whoa, that's good.
And I was like, I'm gonna re-up anyway. I might as well go ahead and do it and get the free money.
Mm-hmm. So
I went ahead and re-upped. I'm only on the individual membership, so it didn't even cost all that much. So if you're interested in that, you can look out to that. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Anniversary Edition will be sold at retail starting October 8th. So they had it before. You had to buy it through, I think, the Square Enix store. Now it's going to actually hit like GameStop and Best Buy and stuff for the first time.
Was it like $200 something by that? Something ridiculous?
I think so. I don't think it's not going to cost that much. I think it's probably going to be like a full retail game.
I saw the box art was kind of ugly.
Yeah. And all of those games are on sale right now. If you want to buy and pick and choose, you can buy them. And then someone made a mod where you can explore Woohoo Island in HD on foot as a Mii. I have not seen this.
It's pretty funny. It's like not even a mod. They like just created it. It's a download. You can just go on and download it and select one of the preset Miis, and you can just go run around the island. You can swim. You can run.
Can you golf?
No, you are just exploring. You're not doing anything, but you're just running around the environment.
I was going to tell you how excited I would be to be able to like Wii Sports golf as like a third person perspective. Like if I could just hot shots Wii Sports, that I would play the shit out of that game.
So cool. Yeah, because Woohoo Island is featured in several games, but like you can't really explore at your own pace. Like you can just playing the games.
It was Wii Fit, Wii Sports, and Wii Sports Resort, right? Pilot Wings, maybe?
Yeah, you can also be there in Pilot Wings, and then like Mario Kart 8, the battle course takes place in Woohoo Island.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So that's the news.
Can you guys hear Josh snoring? I don't know if the mic's picking it up.
I just did. The last one I just did. I didn't hear it until then, but I just did that last one.
All right. Are you ready for some questions directly from you?
Yes.
It's so loud. Oh my god.
Josh, why are you snoring so loud?
Because he was up even later than me. I think he got into bed at 7. He was playing No Man's Sky all night. Okay. TPR asks, question for today. What is your favorite in-game Nintendo power trip? He says, for me, it's the ending of Metroid Dread. If you know, you know. So I guess like where you get like super overpowered and you can just destroy everything in your path. There's some good examples of that. Like in Mario Odyssey at the end. Do you remember when that song plays?
Yeah.
Like you're bursting through all the walls and stuff.
Well, it's funny. The first thing that I thought of was Mario, but I don't know if it counts. I mean, I always thought it was a power trip. But like when like the 2D Marios, it's like new Super Mario Bros. When you get like the power up and Mario goes like huge and starts like fucking Godzillaing the level and starts smashing everything. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like typically when I think of like giant power ups and stuff, I think of like Gears of War and stuff. I don't necessarily think of anything that comes to mind.
I know. I'm trying to think of other examples.
I'm sure there is, but like even in like Zelda, I don't think that's really a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby games have like some pretty amazing set pieces at the end, but generally you're still just Kirby.
Yeah. I was trying to think of Tears of the Kingdom ending, but that's really not a power trip. You just
not really.
They should do that more because it feels really badass to like.
Yeah, it's like a thing that
unstoppable.
I typically associate with Gears of War. Like Gears of War's done that a few times, and it's really awesome.
Yeah,
you love that powerful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, y'all done fucked up now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Fierce Deity Link, kinda.
Yeah, that's probably the closest thing. Like you're still able to get damaged, but you're like the most powerful that
You're kind
have
of a
ever
badass,
been.
though.
Yeah. That's probably
Pretty
the closest. Jay asks, ignoring sales success, what are your top 3 most revolutionary Nintendo consoles? There's
So
still
this
a
is
lot
like-
of talk about that.
So this is like influence, right?
Yeah.
Like impact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotta be the N64.
I
Right?
would think so.
It's gotta be the Wii.
I would think so.
And it's gotta
Those
be
are the two
Switch.
that. Yeah, I was thinking when you first read it, I was like DS, and then I said no, Switch.
I'm gonna go different route. I'm gonna go NES
Of course, knew that was coming.
because it's a good chance we might not have gaming the way we did if we didn't have the NES. Because
We would have.
Atari would-
I always hate
Not-
that thing.
Not the
We would
same
have.
way we would have had it. No, I don't. Think
Somebody would have
come.
come. Genesis. Somebody would have
I
come.
agree
PlayStation.
with Delvin.
I don't.
He just hates the NES.
It's not that I hate the NES, and I understand and I appreciate it for saving gaming. But people are like, without the NES, we wouldn't have had gaming. Video games are
I didn't say
way
we
too
wouldn't
big
have it
and
at all.
important. Then we would have, because there was still PC going on. It would have.
But I don't think it would have been the same.
The
way we
NES
have it now.
didn't. The NES didn't allow, like, Doom was getting created with or without the NES. That was happening.
Yes, but it wouldn't have been the same way it is now.
I agree.
Might have took a little longer, if anything. 'Cause I think the NES brought it.
I just think I think the way I would put it is they were first. Not that it wouldn't be the same, because I think it would have. Somebody would have made a console with a controller and buttons on it. You play games on. It's just they were first. They got there first.
NES, Donnie.
No, man, not
He's gonna
even.
hate my. He's
How do
gonna
you
hate
look
my
at like
second
the
answer even more.
PlayStation
He's
and the
gonna-
Genesis, and you're like, never could have happened without the NES. It
Well,
totally
you're
could
really-
have.
You're really gonna hate my second answer. Game Boy.
It came to mind. No. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
I was
I
thinking
was thinking about it.
too.
It came to mind. I was there.
Somebody would have done it.
I deserve that, I guess. Yeah, Game Gear. No. The Game Boy definitely came to mind, but I do think it's hard to argue. Like, if I was to take one off, I think I would maybe take the 64 off. Because you could say the 64, you look at 3D graphics and stuff, and you say other people were doing it. The argument, though, that I would make in the 64's case is that Nintendo to this day are still making the games that, like, they essentially made on 64. They're still doing Mario Kart, which is like it all goes back to it, right? Ocarina like spurned off like a whole new genre of Zelda games, which they basically still make today. The style of Mario Kart that they've made since then is the 64 style. Like, it
Smash.
changed the way they made games, and then they kind of have kept making those style of games since then. Like, it set, like, what we know as Nintendo is kind of there.
Yeah. Well, the stick. They did the stick Other people weren't doing the stick.
Which everybody really adapted to. Yep.
And my third one's probably another controversial choice. The GameCube.
Huh? For revolutionary?
Yeah, why was that one? You have to make your case on that one. Show me your work.
I feel like the controller's revolutionary. I think the games that it brought to the table are revolutionary. I think.
Why? Let's just start just one at a time. What about the controller? Because I love the controller. I'm not disagreeing with you. Tell me why.
I'm disagreeing.
I probably am. But like it's not out of malice. I love the GameCube. It's my favorite controller, but tell me why it's influential.
I feel like we wasn't having the ports that the GameCube had back then in terms of like the expansion drive, the 4-player ports and things like that. Some things that we still like
64.
Yeah. But not
64 had all those things.
Not like the GameCube though.
No, but it did though. Like exactly that. It had the expansion port and the 4 controller ports.
Yeah. But the GameCube board was on the system though.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on the 64 was just the 2 parts, wasn't it?
No, 4. I have it right there.
No, that's the whole point.
There,
yeah.
4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why they made so many multiplayer focused games.
I like the GameCube better. GameCube sort of like
that's correct. Yes, the Xbox also had it. Yeah.
Wait, talk about Xbox. Can't you play Xbox?
How dare you?
Well, here's the thing. They didn't continue a lot of the things that the GameCube had. Like, they didn't continue with the mushy triggers. They didn't continue with, like...
good call.
What else did the GameCube controller have? Like,
Facts.
Well,
Dreamcast also had 4 ports.
I'm just talking about in terms of Nintendo. Dreamcast is great.
So
I think a case is to be made for the Nintendo DS.
I do too.
That's a good
the
one.
The DS, I was torn between DS, Game Boy, and Switch. I think the answer is Switch.
Yeah.
I think the answer is Switch. And my argument would be, look at the entire market and industry that has followed since Nintendo did the Switch. Mm-hmm. You look at the Switch and you think Steam Deck, you think Ally, you think Claw, you think all these it brought back the portable gaming system. Like
I will say though that the DS really revolutionized touchscreen. I think
it did. It brought in all that.
That was before the iPhone. Think about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good call. DS.
Yeah.
I was thinking I thought I was like Game Boy, and then I was like, no, because I think DS did a little bit more than that. And then I was like, but is it DS or Switch? In my head, is it DS or Switch? But I'm with you. I think 64 Wii Switches, those are really good. If I had to pull one, I think I'd pull 64. The GameCube, though, I want to go back to this GameCube thing because I love the GameCube. I'm with you. It's one of my favorite consoles. It is my favorite controller. But there's nothing on that controller that like other people weren't doing before outside of the face buttons, which I think are elite. And I wish every controller adapted the face buttons. I love the big A, the X, Y, and the B button. Like that is
great.
It's how it's like the most intuitive face button layout I've ever had.
It's not revolutionary or influential because
nobody used it. Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say.
That stuck or
changed.
It
didn't stick. None of it stuck. They've went away from all of it because it didn't do anything. But it is maybe my favorite. I'm hoping the Switch 2 becomes like the GameCube. The GameCube was the last console Nintendo had that was like powerful, had all the third parties developing for it, and had first party awesome releases. And ever since then, we've had like a mix and match of those things, but not all. Yeah. And I really want Switch 2 to have all of it. Like just
GameCube
do all
some
of
great
it.
Games.
It did. It
had some really great games. Even though the wrestling games were lacking, everything else on it was kind of on point.
I think
games a lot of the games that I feel like were not appreciated at the time until later. Like you got Metroid Prime in there, you got Wind Waker in there, you got Pikmin in there. Like very underappreciated
Star
games.
Fox Adventures.
Very underappreciated Star Fox Adventures.
You had Eternal Darkness, underappreciated.
Console killed Star Fox.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was a really good.
It is. Yes, a really good question.
It's a really good question.
It's a really good question. I think I can make a lot of cases. I feel like in my head, I think listeners are like yelling at us about the 64.
I think
they're like 64 sucked.
I think Nintendo to give it credit. You can make good arguments for almost every one of their systems. How it revolutionized gaming.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe except the virtual, even the Virtual Boy to an extent. Like,
when I think 64, the thing that comes to mind is definitely the stick, the transition to 3D. I know there's a lot of people that don't think those style of games hold up. I still do. But I think the memory pack, I think the 4 ports. Remember the portable add-on? You almost trace back the Switch to it. It's like, yeah, we want you to play Game Boy games on your home console and take it with you and all there's a lot there. There's so much DNA there. And like I said, the games, like their core games that they make, their 3D style, like the formula for what those games would be, they're still making those games. Mm-hmm. They haven't really left from that. They haven't departed from that path. So I like it. I like your 3. I'm in lockstep with you, Rebecca. I think those are the 3. It's a tight contest, but I think those would be the 3 that I go with.
Good conversation. Kate asks us, what's a game you missed so far in 2024 that you really want to play? She says mine's Balatro. Is that what it's called?
Balatro. Yeah,
waiting for a physical edition. Good question. I forget everything that's released so far this year.
Mine's Crow Country.
Game is my answer.
What is?
Which one? Delvin said every game.
Every game. I haven't been able to play shit this year.
Mine's Crow Country. I was really, really excited to play Crow Country, and I just haven't got to it yet.
Usually for me, if I'm going to play a game, I pick it up. Oh, Prince of Persia. I finally bought it, but I haven't played it yet.
Well, at least you bought it. You didn't even buy Wonder.
Damn shame.
Pathetic, man.
Animal Well. I intend to play Animal Well, but have not.
Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on that game.
I did.
That was a little darling for a moment. Everybody went nuts for it for about a week.
Didn't like it. I played like, oh, that's safe for me.
Really?
I didn't think I would either. That's why I didn't jump on that wagon. Mm-hmm. But Balatro's still going. I still hear about Balatro frequently. People love that game.
Mm-hmm. G-Man asks, what are your thoughts on Mystery Dungeon games? And if any other Nintendo IP could have it, who should get a game? Personally, I think the Mystery Dungeon games are fun and easy to play through.
There's a super easy answer here that already kind of came true. There's one Nintendo franchise that should adapt to that style. It's Zelda.
Oh.
Like, that's the whole point. It was Dragon Quest. I mean, it's basically what Cadence of Hyrule is. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never played Mystery Dungeon, so I don't really know.
All right, so Mystery Dungeon, all the levels of the dungeon are procedurally generated. So it's kind of like a rogue. Mm-hmm. But as you move, so does everything on the table. So you move, and the enemies move, and you move, the enemies, and then it's kind of a guessing of well, if I go here, what do they do, and that sort of thing. That tit for tat, and that's basically what Cadence of Hyrule does, except you do it to the beat. But everything is moving at the same time.
I did not know that's what Mystery Dungeon was.
The Mystery Dungeon thing is not a Pokemon thing. It's a Dragon Quest thing, I think. I'm not like a super old retro game, but I think it's a Dragon Quest thing. It's like a style of older RPGs that were dungeon crawlers that adapted to it.
You're right.
Yeah, so that's why I said immediately comes to mind a Zelda game. If they made an original Zelda game like this, people would lose their shit. You just take OG Zelda and you make it all modern pixel, but you do a Mystery Dungeon thing to it, people would go nuts.
Interesting.
That's why the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games can be played for 500 hours. That's why the people that do love it, that's why they love it. That's why I've always said I like it. I've played them. I do enjoy Mystery Dungeon. I bought DX. I played it a bit, but I wear out over a while. I can't play them for very long. And when I mean very long, I mean I may give you 12 to 20 hours, and then I'm tapping out. So I'm very much like a noob. But there are people that play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for 200 hours. I ain't got it in me to do that.
That's a lot.
But people love it. They absolutely love that stuff.
I can't think of any other IP that would work with that.
I can't even.
I mean, Zelda really is the one. Zelda comes immediately to mind.
Yeah.
Pikmin?
That'd be interesting. Make it kind of tactical a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I could see something like that.
Drew asks, after never putting a single Madden on Switch, do you think EA will actually bring college football to the Switch too? I don't want to buy another console just so I can play one game. Drew, there will be many games on the Switch too that you will want to play.
Drew, I don't know. I want to say there's hope. There's hope. I can't guarantee it, but there should be hope that after the incredible success the Switch 1 was, the difference between Switch 1 and Switch 2 is in the initial launch of the Switch 2, I expect there will be a ton of third-party support that wasn't there the first time.
You know what?
It's going to be a lot of, I would say, older games. It's going to be ports of games that already came out. You know, what are the rumors? Like, we've had the rumors, right? Final Fantasy. Like, I 100%, like, you're going to go back to the main players. I think Ubisoft will be there. I think Capcom will be there. So, like, Resident Evil 4 Remake probably going to show up. You know, it shouldn't be that big of a surprise. I would hope the EA gets on the ball this time. I would hope.
You know what? I'm going to say, yeah. I think there will be. I think we'll at least get one.
Yeah. And I think college football, I would start with college football over Madden personally, because I think college football has a greater chance to sell double copies.
Yes.
If you give people the opportunity to buy college football and play it portably, people will buy systems for that. Like, they'll just buy a whole system for one game. That would be my read on it. I would like EA to do both. I don't know if Take-Two hasn't really been doing much of anything. I don't expect Grand Theft Auto 6 will show up at all. Grand Theft Auto 5 could, but I doubt they're even working on anything like that. Yeah. But Ubisoft, I think Capcom, I think Platinum, I think Square, you know, like the normal players, I think they'll all have a game. They'll all have something to show for Switch 2. You know, I said a long time ago, I expect Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring will be there. I think Elden Ring will be like the Switch 2's Dark Souls. They'll show up and be like, check it out. You can play it in the palm of your hand.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Related...
I think Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of Duty will be there. I don't know if it'll be the new one, but I think it'll be there.
I think WWE 2K will be there too.
Yeah, me too. That's probably a good guess. Yeah, I think 2K will show up big time.
Somewhat related question, kind of, sort of. Gags asked, name 3 third-party launch titles you anticipate being there at launch.
Oh, shit. We could have.
Well, we already did that. But
yeah.
Gags says Final Fantasy, Elden Ring, and Street Fighter 6. Yeah, Street Fighter. Like, yeah, Capcom will be there. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think I'll say WWE 2K will be there. Launch. I want to say, you know,
at launch, do we mean release day or like release year?
Let's say release year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, I would wait for the next WWE game instead of porting the last one. Mm-hmm. I would just launch on it.
I think they would, but I think they're going to end up porting the last one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, here you go.
I wonder.
Sure it works. Let
me ask you a question. I agree with all of Gag's answers, and I just rattled off a bunch more that I think will be there, so I'm going to refrain from answering this, but I do want to ask a question. Ubisoft's going to be there. They're going to be there with a game.
Ubi flop.
Do you think it's going to be Shadows?
Yes.
You think they'll just go with the brand new game and try to port it?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think Shadows will be there.
Because I'm wondering, because they've already, ideally you think they've had the dev kits and they've been working on something. I wonder if they show up with ports of older games. Because you think about the Switch, what did they bring to the Switch? They didn't bring Odyssey and Origins. They brought Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, you know, and like I wonder, like Black Flag, I wonder if they show up with Valhalla or Far Cry 6 or something. Like I wonder if they grab one of their past game. God help me if it's Skull and Bones, but I wonder if they grab something like that.
I think it will be Skull and Bones.
Oh, God,
that's the one they're gonna.
Why invest any money in porting that to anything?
I think Far Cry 2.6 might be too old for them to port. Skull and Bones is right there though. They will port that one.
It'd be the first time we had a Far Cry game on a portable, like a dedicated portable.
It'll be Rayman Legends.
Nah.
They'll pull that one out for like the 20th time.
Hmm.
I really want the Switch 2 to have Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's a good one. That's a better chance than GTA 6, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to GTA 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Red Dead 2.
To add, Tyler Kopp says, to add to Gag's question, what do you think the first 3 remasters or ports of first-party games, not previous ports, of the Switch lineup will make it onto the Switch 2? He says mine are Tears of the Kingdom, Fire Emblem Engage, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think Smash Ultimate, definitely. That'll be like a definitive edition of the game.
Yeah, I think
All
Breath
the
of the Wild.
DLC.
I think Breath of the Wild is getting a re-release.
Yep, that one too.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. I think we'll get Ultimate, and I think they'll add one more character. Here's another character.
That'd be cool.
They're gonna add
That'd be cool.
Waluigi.
I don't think they're going to do Engage at all, and it hurts me because I love that game. But I don't think we'll ever see Engage again. I think they're at this point. I'm wondering if they're just holding that Fire Emblem game to launch with the new system. Probably a new Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
Or maybe they release it on Switch. I don't know. First party
Mario
ports.
Kart?
No, because they're gonna have a new Mario Kart.
It would be really upsetting.
Plus, we're also thinking like it's backwards compatible, right?
Yeah.
My go-to would be Bayonetta 3.
That'd be a good one.
I could see them grabbing all of the Bayonettas and releasing a trilogy, but it's all upgraded, up-resed, up performance.
That'll happen.
The super awesome edition, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, good call. Kyle the Pug.
Fuck you, Catapug.
There it is.
He says, pick 2, the rest go away forever. Seafood, Italian food, Mexican food, and Indian food.
This is where we fight, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it's
only 2. I know my answers.
Yeah, mine are very easy.
Yeah. Let's hear you, Donnie.
Mine is I'm not a seafood person. Never have been.
Okay.
So seafood and Indian food are out.
Wow, we have the same. I love Italian food and I love Mexican food.
100%.
So you got to pick 2 and the rest go away.
Yep.
So you only can keep 2.
Right. I'm keeping Italian food and Mexican food.
Same.
I'm keeping Italian food and seafood.
Okay.
I like
That
seafood.
makes sense. You live down there by the
Respect
coast. All y'all like the damn seafood stuff. I can't.
Yeah, and it's a lot of stuff you can eat. It's just pure seafood. Like
The stuff people eat right out of the water blows my mind. Fucking alien parasite looking things. They're like, let's eat it. It's good. What?
No.
Yeah.
I love me some rice, burritos.
Beans,
Love it.
cheese.
Beans, cheese. Yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah. Me too. Okay, last question here from James. We are just a few weeks away from September. Do you think we will have a direct in September? Good question. Is there anything left to show for a direct, or is this where they finally unveil the Switch 2?
That is a good question because we typically do get a direct in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
I
Maybe
think
like an indie or something, like a small one?
I'm gonna say no too for like a main or mini direct, like maybe a third party, maybe an indie direct.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're announcing stuff on Twitter, like they just gave Stray a release date. They gave us like a very extended Echoes of Wisdom trailer. Like I don't think there's really that much more that they can pack into a direct. And I don't think they want to unveil the Switch 2 before like that soon. Like I don't think they're gonna do it that soon.
I agree.
I mean, the real question is, when do you think the Switch 2 is coming? Because if you think it's coming in March, they have to start writing some sort of announcement. Which they can. There's still time. But also, if it's coming in March, I'd expect them to be entering production like now or very soonish. And it doesn't sound like that's a thing, at least so far.
I think May or June.
I'm kind of leaning towards we get the announcement not during the Game Awards, but around that time.
Late December or January.
And I'm wondering if we don't get the Switch 2 like Rebecca, it may be a summer thing. I don't know. Look, none of us know. If I were Nintendo, I would be hesitant to launch the Switch in the fall, knowing that GTA 6 is supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Not because they directly compete or anything. It's just GTA 6 is going to be a moment in time where people evaluate their console choice. And they're going to buy stuff. And if I was launching a new console, I would want to be way out in front of that announcement if possible.
Yeah.
I would want people already make their decision on a Switch before that game shows up.
The only way I would announce it is if GTA 6 is going to be on the Switch as well.
Yeah, of course. No, if it's going to be on it, then you can just
If it's
pair it
on
with
there,
it.
yeah, just like let's go.
Yeah, but we think it's not going to be there, right? It's not going to be on the Switch 2.
I don't think it would be. It's
Right.
I would hope.
So if it were
That'd be
me,
dope.
I would launch it. I would launch it out in front, like Rebecca, June, May, like get it out there in front. Let everybody that wants to buy a Switch buy one, and don't give people the option to go, well, maybe I'll get a PlayStation instead. Like, don't even give them the option. Like, just you want to buy the Switch because it's the new Switch.
Yep.
So that would be my guess. I hope it's in March, but if it's going to be in March, like we got to start hearing about it. I think like October, November at the latest. They can't go to January for a March launch, right? No. Yeah, that's impossible. Like they're running out of time if they're going to launch in March. So,
but I don't think it'll be September that they'll announce it.
Yeah. Just good. Like that's the thing that they're keeping all those cards close to the vest, so we have no idea what they're going to do. But
getting exciting though.
If they were going to have like a September direct, and then they still could, they could show us the same games we've already seen. Like that's on the bingo card. But like if they were going to have a September direct, I would have held Donkey Kong for that, because Donkey Kong didn't come out till January. Right? Like it's a long time.
Do you think they'll have a Pokemon Presents?
Do they have anything to do with it?
Yes. They have Pokemon Legends ZA, which is supposed to come out next year. We have not.
But we think that's coming out on the new system. I would save that for the new system.
Yeah. Well, we
it
don't
can
know
come out on
that
the
for
old
a
system
fact.
too. But I would save it. I would showcase it when I announce the new system.
Yeah. That Pokemon mobile TCG game has not been dated yet, and it's supposed to come out this year.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about the card game. I'll play that for sure. Like that's exciting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that could happen. I don't think a full Nintendo Direct.
I do think there's a little space for them to have, like, if they've got one more game, if there's like a smaller game in there, they've got like a little Kirby or a little spin-off or something. Like, there's probably space in the fall lineup to have one more game.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think they're done. Like they've done. They've dated everything.
I agree. That's our last question.
Awesome. Fun show.
Yeah, there were some really good ones that we talked about. It was good.
Not fun was the message that I just got.
Uh-oh.
Telling me to head to the pharmacy to buy COVID tests, sprays, Zyrtec, and Sudafed.
Oh boy, good luck with that.
So everybody, please keep me in your best thoughts.
Yep.
Wear that hazmat suit when giving it to them.
Going down with the ship.
No bueno.
Keep us updated. All right. Well, good luck with that, Donnie. Anything going on for you this week, Delvin?
Nah, I'll be fine.
Okay. All right. In that case, Koopalings, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
Peace. Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?